The same nightmare for 12 years. Posted by u/sleepless in Alberta. Hey everyone, first time poster. So I have been having experiences with the paranormal my whole life, but in the last 12 years things have been escalating. I've had family who have passed visit right after their deaths in dreams before we even knew they had passed. It was all very normal and never worried me. That was until I turned 18. I started having nightmares so vivid and terrifying that it started to take a physical toll on me. The dream almost feels like a movie where I only see up to a certain point, then I wake up. I'm being kidnapped in the dream by a man later revealed to be named Ivan. He takes me to a city I've never seen before and tortures me and murders me at the end of the dream. Over the years more details have slowly been added to the dream and I can start to recognize things like the type of truck he drives, what his voice sounds like, and even the smell of his home. Just so you know, I'm from Indiana originally and lived there until I moved to Alberta, Canada at age 21. I tell you this because I never recognized the city until my husband and I were driving to a wedding in Kelowna, British Columbia. As we drove into Kamloops, BC, I start feeling a serious feeling of dread and start having a full-blown panic attack because this is the city from my dream and never being here before in my life terrified me. I really freaked my husband out. He has been helping me deal with these nightmares and wakes me up from them when I can't wake up on my own. These dreams seems to have a cycle as they are reoccurring every few months. I know these dreams ain't normal and kinda running out of patience with losing sleep. I've even talked to a therapist about it, which was zero help. Does anyone know what could be happening and help explain why I'm having this damn nightmare for 12 years now? Any advice is appreciated.
My haunted house of 5 years. Posted by u/GamerDoge69. We have a house in the desert of Nevada that we think is haunted. I would hear people calling my name clear as day from somewhere in my house, but later I find out there's no one home. These voices take the shape of one of my family members, like my sister, mother, father, or sometimes a child that I don't recognize. I never really paid attention to it because it was happening like twice a week. I got used to it, but like last week I was vacuuming the house and I got to the end of the hall where my room is. And I see my dog in my room and I just smile at her and she goes back to sleep. But when I turn around I saw my dog again. Behind me. My dog never went past me and there's no way she could have got there without me noticing. I looked back in the room and to see a child's head peeking out of my closet. I was so terrified that I ran out of the house and took a hotel for the night. I still don't know if it's a demon, a ghost, for something else. Edit. The demon child of whatever it is did not actually look like a child. It was almost like I just knew it was a child when I saw it. It's hard to explain. It has no nose and was bald with eyes of a reptile. I can't quite get any more details because I run out of there real quick. More story. You guys seem to really like this story, so I'm going to give a little more story. So I'm in the process of moving out right now, and some even more strange and horrific things have happened that I did not mention on my last edit. I would have the most horrible dreams at this house and this house only. For example, I would have dreams of an abandoned warehouse with a dead decapitated baby head with a spine still attached floating around and screaming while chasing me. I would also get sleep paralysis. This a black demon-like entity that looked like a snake that could climb walls and ceilings. Sleep paralysis has never happened to me before I moved here. I don't know if dreams can be linked to ghosts or demons. I would also see a shadow man lurking around my house from time to time. I thought it was my imagination. God, I wish it was. I would also hear something running down my hallway sometimes. I would also see a dog-like creature outside of my house. But it didn't look like a dog. It was like 5 feet tall, 6 feet long with long jagged teeth roaming outside. I thought I'm going crazy or just my eyes playing tricks on me. But I really don't know. Whatever the thing is, I think it can take the shape of anything. It is probably not a ghost. It's probably a demon or alien or a cryptid that can shape-shift. I really don't know. I need your guys' help to figure out what it could be. I will be moving out soon and I'm not staying in the house anymore. I hate that place. Dude. Get off my bed. Posted by u/Arcadian Wizard. So I have this resident ghost that has been living with me for around 10 plus years. He's pretty funny actually. One time I saw him getting out of my bed and walk into my bathroom. He wore a white long sleeve shirt with ruffles in the middle. He had longish blonde hair and looked like he might have been from the 1700s. I couldn't see his face since his back was turned to me. I hear music playing in my room sometimes as well. Sometimes when I sleep on my couch I can hear him stomping down the hallway. It's just minor annoyances. I know it's not sleep paralysis or hypnagogic hallucinations. It's happened to me so many times that it doesn't really scare me. Today I was sleeping in and I felt him sit on my bed. He does that sometimes just to be annoying. I tried to keep sleeping but he kept babbling some nonsensical words that sounded like my brother's voice. I finally had to say out loud, "Dude, get off my bed." I know this sounds crazy, but I find it quite funny. Someone pretending to be my mother, posted by u/Wall. We have long moved from that house, but the incidents haunt me till this day. This happened about 10 years ago. I am now 21. We have a small family, my mom, me and my father. My father worked from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. so he was not home for most part of the day. My mother taught at a local preschool and was home by 1 p.m. and I'd come home from school around the same time. One day I came home from school and called out for my mother, but I got no reply. I went into her bedroom and saw her sleeping. I figured she must be tired, so I didn't bother. I made myself a sandwich and went to her room and slept next to her. She started stroking my hair, not really saying anything, and I fell asleep. It would have been 30 minutes when I heard my doorbell ring. I got up and saw that my mother was not in bed. I went out and opened the door and saw my mom, still in her work clothes. I was confused and she frantically apologized to me for getting late, as one of her students had an incident at school, and asked me if I had eaten anything. I was confused but replied that I made myself sandwich. I didn't tell her anything. Few days passed. It was Saturday, so both of my parents were home. We planned to go to park and I jumped into shower to get ready. I was taking my shower when I heard my bathroom door open. I couldn't see who opened it, a shower curtain was blocking my view. I heard my mother's voice. She kept my towel on the stand and I only got a glimpse of her hand. She said that we weren't going to picnic anymore. I was sad. I came out of shower crying and asked my mom why weren't we going to park, and she asked me who told me that. I told her that she did and she said she didn't come inside bathroom. After this I'd hear movements around the house and hear a woman hum a peculiar tune in my mother's voice, but I knew it wasn't my mom. Luckily we didn't stay in that house long and moved out a month later. Though I still hear the tune at times, but now I don't see anyone. I've had few paranormal incidents happen with me and few of my friends. Let me know if anyone would want me to post those experiences. Also, English is not my first language, so please ignore grammatical errors. Met 3 ghosts, aliens, demons, things while hiking up Mount Shasta in Shasta, California. Posted by u/Josh Aldana Music 417. I went on a little hiking trip with my dad to Shasta, California, a small town in Northern California near the Oregon border. Shasta is home to a potentially active volcano named, of course, Mt Shasta. There are many trails on Mt Shasta, so my father and I were excited to do some hiking. We drove up the side of the mountain to the parking lot in which one of the trails begins. I believe it was called the Old Ski Bowl Trail. The landscape was a very barren incline, filled with rocks, boulders, dirt and very few trees. About an hour into the trail, we came across a very odd assembly of these large boulders. They were arranged in a circle. We thought it was strange, but we continued on. If you look up pictures of the trail, you'll see much smaller rocks arranged in patterns and circles. My father and I only encountered 3 people. At least, that's what they appeared to be at first. The first 2 were a father and son. We met them on a steep incline that went along the wall of a cliff that would then switch back as it reached the top of the cliff. We stopped and said hello, talked about the trail, and then went our separate ways. Here's where it gets weird. Dad and I kept walking up the incline for just about 2 minutes. I turned around and I saw the father and son so far down the trail. It should have taken them at least 20 minutes to get down to where they were. But somehow, they were in only about 2 minutes. To this day, I have absolutely no idea how that could have happened. There was no one else on the trail at that point, and I could see the color of their clothes from that distance, so I knew it was them. I pointed it out to my dad. We thought it was weird, but we didn't dwell on it, so we kept going. And here is where it gets so much weirder. As we reached the top of the cliff, there was another strange rock arrangement that was off to the side of the trail. This time, there were far more rocks than before, and they were now arranged in rows, almost like gravestones. We continued on the trail and reached another sort of incline with a switchback to reach the top of another cliff. We reached a point where we would need climbing gear to continue, so we decided to head back. When we turned around, I saw a man standing among the rocks, staring at us. He was wearing a button-up shirt, cargo shorts and a wide-brimmed straw hat. He was at a distance where I should have been able to make out his facial features. But it was almost as if he had none. Like his face was just flesh and skin. I pointed him out to my dad, and then the man quickly ducked down behind a boulder, and was peering out at us over the top of the boulder. It seemed almost playful, like a child trying to hide. For a few moments, I was out of it and I have no recollection of what was going on. According to my dad, I just started walking towards the man in the hat. My dad was calling to me, "Joshua. Josh, what are you doing? Where are you going?" And then I came to. I was standing right at the edge of a cliff, It was a huge drop. Enough to kill me or seriously injure me. My dad grabbed me and pulled me back to the trail. He told me to stay put, and my dad went down to the boulders to search for the man. But he wasn't there. There was nowhere for him to go except up or down the trail. It didn't make any sense, he just disappeared. I have no idea what was going on that trail, and I have no explanation for it. I've told this many times to family and friends, and no one has an explanation. I've done research and found similar stories about encounters with a man with no facial features wearing a hat. I've also read that the Native American tribes from the area viewed Mt Shasta as a holy site. They believe it could act as a portal to other dimensions, and that it is guarded by spirits who would potentially harm anyone who tried to go up the volcano. If anybody has any similar experiences or any insight at all, I would love to hear. So please share anything you have to offer. Thank you for reading. TLDR, I met 2 ghosts/angels/aliens etc. and 1 demon/ghost/ on a lonely trail on Mt Shasta. Edited for spelling and grammar.
Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos.